And yes, we do have some people coming in, bad hombres, that are not helping our country. And they have no intention to help our country. Yes, we want people that come into our country and love it and get involved. And guess what? Millions have done that, and we want millions of more here at For the People to do that very thing. Nothing more, nothing less. North Korea. You know, we understand they're going to send some people to the Winter Olympics. And despite all the bluster, North Korea started dialogue with South Korea this past week and said that it now will be sending a team and a high-level delegation to the Winter Olympics. But this hasn't stopped Kim Jong-un, and now it's no wonder why we have these stealth bombers in Guam. Because this past week we flew several of them over there to show strength. That's what we did. Because there's imagery from space, from a satellite, there's imagery that's spotting activity near a test site in the south and west portals there in North Korea and Pyongyang and the test site there. And according to website 38 North, the test site's north portal where North Korea last 5 nuclear tests were conducted has remained dormant, but tunnel excavation has been increased at its west portal. Mining carts, personnel regularly spotted around the west portal, and a significant expansion, apparently, to experts, of a spoil of Pile 38 North reported that a large number of personnel in 7 formations were seen in the southern support area. The website said that the activity was proof that North Korea was maintaining the site for future tests. These people are not going to give up on their nuclear ambition. I just don't know how much longer we can tolerate this regime to continue building, and they're building, testing, and they're testing. And really testing the world here before we just lose it. And I really am concerned, hey, we're in the Olympics, and he decides he wants to go ahead and send some fireworks into the air during the Olympics. Wouldn't that just be something? Because the world's going to be watching. No, I would not be surprised if he doesn't set it off during the Olympics. Let the Olympics happen, and then let's go ahead and really fire some stuff off. Trump said on Twitter this past Thursday that talks between North and South Korea were a good thing, but the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, added that the U.S. won't take any of the talk seriously if they don't do something to ban all nuclear weapons in North Korea. According to Reuters, Ri Song-gwan, head of the North Korea's delegation at the inter-Korean talks, reportedly said that North Korea's weapons are only aimed at the United States, not our brethren, China or Russia, and that its nuclear program was not an issue between the two countries. Oh, so this is just the United States. Oh, I feel so much better about it. It's just us. Oh, okay. Interesting. Thursday, Russian President Vladimir Putin implied that Kim had one-up Trump, saying North Korea won this match in the contest to acquire nuclear weapons, according to Bloomberg News. Yeah, Putin's weighing in on this. He said he called Kim's educated and shrewd and mature during the latest standoff with South Korea and others on his nuclear and missile program. Okay, encouragement from Vladimir Putin. Oh, yeah, he's all for nuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Let them acquire it, weapons of mass destruction. Let them be a menace. This guy's a menace to all the neighbors and us, and the guy is just a fruitcake. And not to forget the human atrocities that go on there on a daily basis, the gulags it's just horrible. I personally don't understand why there can't just be a mandate from the United Nations to be enough that there's nothing coming into those countries until they stop doing what they're doing. Period. But with the sanctions that we have, apparently this has been the toughest that any administration really had. So I don't trust Kim Jong-un at all. I don't trust this guy's motives with the Olympics. This guy is still building, still having these scientists working with Iran. Who knows if stuff's coming in from... We know coal's still being delivered. We know oil still... Yeah, small shipments, but still shipments coming in. So they're not stopping. Laura Ingraham, like her. Congratulations on that show, her show. She's got her own show on Fox, which is terrific. I've enjoyed her and followed her, for many, many years, and have listened to her, and I like her. But she's blasted, and going back to the immigration, the compromise bill that members of Congress reached Thursday, saying that the president should reject it, and out of hand for being too weak on immigration enforcement. And I thought what she said was great. Here's what Ingram said about the proposed legislation. Here we go. As I predicted, the Gang of Six bill is a complete and utter joke. Earlier in the week, the president empowered congressional leaders to come up with a bipartisan deal to address the status of those 800,000 or the so-dreamers that Obama, through executive actions, protected from deportation. Remember, there were prerequisites: build the wall, add more border agents and immigration judges, and end chain migration and the visa lottery, she added. But today, Senator Dick Durbin, Lindsey Graham, Jeff Flake unveiled their great compromise. The moment I heard it, it was those three involved. I knew it was going to be bad, by the way. So if you were wondering why the president has already, in the words of Dick Durbin, personally rejected the bill, I'll tell you why. She said it would increase chain migration, violating one of the president's non-negotiables, number one. The DACA recipients get citizenship and can then sponsor relatives and their parents for renewable 3-year periods. The money for border enforcement is, as I predicted, Ingram protested, $2.3 billion in all Durbin, Graham, and Flake offered. And by the way, only $1.6 billion will go towards construction of the wall or the double fencing. A real border wall is expected to cost $20 billion. And while Congress anguishes to find the money, by the way, remember, we're going to rebuild Puerto Rico. She reminds us about $50 billion. And the legal cost us, all in all, here's the figure, folks, $113 billion a year. So do not tell me we do not have the money to enforce our own border. This will not do, in no way, no how. Folks, there you go. I mean, this is the conclusion of conservative talk show host Ingram, and my thoughts entirely. Very well put. I mean, but that's not enough common sense for the left. They don't want to hear those facts and figures. All they want to hear is paid voters, which they shouldn't even vote anyway if they're illegal, but they still vote, and they tally the votes. It's unbelievable. Donald Trump, by the way, he's going into Walter Reed Military Hospital Friday here. And, something that all presidents do. They got to come in physical and, see what their blood pressure is and their cholesterol. He's got high cholesterol. That's what we understand. So he's taking some cholesterol medication. He takes baby aspirin, a few things like that. They say he's overweight. That's what we know about Donald Trump. He likes to eat cheeseburgers, just like Obama. Taco Bell, KFC, all of these things. You talk about a stressful job. They do say the guy's got to get some more exercise, though. They say golf is just not enough as far as his cardiovascular system goes. You actually got to get that blood pressure up. But the measurements are in the healthy range. And again, he uses a cholesterol-lowering statin medication, and many of you probably are taking that. They say his EKG, chest X-rays, electrocardiogram, blood sugar have been normal for the last several of his visits to the doctor. Trump's 6'3", by the way. 6'3", 236 pounds, but they're still saying his body mass index, or BMI, of 29.5 put him in a category of being overweight. So Crestor for his cholesterol, low-dose aspirin for heart attack. And he takes the drug called Propecia to treat male pattern baldness. Propecia. I guess it works. I mean, look at that hair. So you're looking to grow some hair. I saw that. Some of you want to grow hair. Can't grow hair. Propecia. If you want to write it down, look into it. If it worked for Trump, it could probably work for you. Propecia, is that how you pronounce it? And then he takes antibiotics for rosacea, where you get this reddening of the face, the neck, the chest, wherever. But anyways, they say this guy has got the energy of a 20-year-old. So many predict he's going to come out of this just probably telling him he's got to do some more exercising or laying off the ice cream. But hey, heart rate's good. Everything looks good. Who couldn't lose a few pounds, right? Now, KFC is probably not the best stuff to eat either. But hey, occasionally it's not a bad thing. I like it. I love space, love outer space. And I'm thinking maybe one day I might decide to go up with SpaceX because they're gearing up to not only ferry astronauts into orbit, but they're wanting to also ferry you and I. But NASA, they're being a little careful, and I think it's a good thing, for potential threats as they're putting them. And they're identifying them in the group's annual report range from unconventional rocket fuel systems to anticipated bombardment into orbit by tiny meteor fragments and other space debris. So NASA stipulated a statistical limit of no more than one possible fatal accident per 270 flights. SpaceX, Boeing are developing separate fleets of capsules, but neither is likely to meet that long-standing safety standard despite years of testing, re-engineering, high-level government concern about what are called micrometeors, according to the report. So 2019 is what they're saying. They were hoping this year. But Boeing has told NASA and its experts to launch its first crewed test flight in November. That's what they were going to do. But then they indicated that's not going to happen because of the concerns about helium and canisters and all this other stuff. But again, I like the idea that NASA, working with the private sector, SpaceX, and they're the ones launching the stuff to the International Space Station, launching our satellites. And I'm very proud to say we're doing it right here on American soil. We're not doing it over there in Russia. In Russia, I'll tell you, that stuff's not blown up. They got a pretty good space program. But I'm glad that we're leading again. So Elon Musk, keep up the good work there at SpaceX. I think it's, can I just say it? Badass. I can say that? All right, that's not an FCC. That they land the rockets back on the platforms right there, on the coast. It reusables. Who can do that? I mean, it's something in a movie. They do it. And they're getting really, really good at it. Here's a story that I came across and I thought, man, here is somebody with a guilty conscience, if I ever saw one. There's a guy, apparently, out in California. Well, that's where he was. I say apparently, but he confessed to a murder that he and some siblings apparently did back in 1993. And he walked into a TV station because, in his own words, he found God, found religion. I'm talking about Brian Keith Hawkins,